Welcome to the Walking Dead After Show here on the Stream.TV. I'm your host, Soon Castillo, and this is my fabulous co-host, Timothy Michael. And unfortunately, Michael Tiberi is not here tonight, unfortunately. He had an emergency that he had to deal with, so we're sending him prayers and love.
And kisses and hugs.
Michael!
I'm kind of glad that he wasn't here for this, because it was a very relationship, I feel like, oriented episode in the beginning there. They were just showed up all these pairs of couples. I was like, Michael would have hated this anyway.
He would have hated this.
He would have totally hated it. That's all I kept thinking about was Michael is so like...
All the feels?
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
But we love you, Michael. We miss you.
Yeah, we miss you. And we can't wait to hear when he comes back for the season finale episode. So we going to be all together again then. But let's just jump right into this. Carol, where'd you go, girl? Like, the last episode, she decided to just take off. And this episode starts off with her trying to leave.
And I'm glad that they kind of picked up right where she was, like, her plans to leave, like packing up and Tobin almost catching her and stuff like that. I'm kind of glad that they picked it up right there.
Yeah.
Instead of like Tobin coming to Rick with the note and being like, So yeah, I'm glad they kind of showed her afterthoughts.
Oh my God, yeah, that was just so, like, we were watching the episode, right, and we saw that when he was just like Carol, you know what I mean, and she was just like, oh Lord, I gotta, oh Lord, put the bag, I don't want to have a, she was almost like Michael, she was just not wanting to have a conversation, like ending things or anything, and then, you know, they just kind of, he was talking about things, and then I said it, she had that look on her face like, when the relationship is over, because she tuned him out.
Well, the sound got distorted, and she was
just glazed look over her face, and then she just sympathy screwed him and put that boy to bed, and then snuck out.
She was like out.
Oh, middle of the night. She's near John Tobin.
But before that, I love in the beginning that there was that whole like kind of ominous feel of like they were showing the car and the close up of like the blood on the floor and the drop rosary and stuff.
Yes.
I love that because then they kind of touched up. I mean, they didn't touch up. They actually covered it later on in the episode. But I think that was one of the first, not one of the first, but in this season, that they did this whole like ominous, like there was no like dialogue on screen. There was more of like this
very close
something's about to go. Like something's about to go down.
Stuff. Yeah. I love that you only heard the one dude like, I'm gonna take a pass on that, and then you hear a shot, and then later on when we catch up with Carol to see what had happened, it wasn't one dude she was toe to toe tussling with. There was a truck full of dudes.
A truck full of dudes.
Like
she took them all down.
She took them all down. Now Timothy was just messing with me so bad because while we were watching,
I had to tell this story because you can't.
Okay.
The entirety of this episode while we were watching this, she's sitting here going, "That's the guy from the hilltop. That's the guy. Isn't that the girl from the community?" And I'm sitting here going, "Girl, you cannot think that everybody is." No, none of these people that she thought were from wherever that she thought they were from there.
Man, okay, first of all, the reason we were talking about this is we were talking about
the Asian guy.
The Asian guy that was talking to Carol,
yes.
the one with that had the gun or whatever, and how when we look back on the Hilltop community, when we were watching the episode, it was Timothy, Michael, and me, there was like, when the lumberjack man-bun guy got into a fight with Rick and not Governor, but Gregory. There was an Asian dude, and I was like, you know that guy gonna die because you can't have two Asians on that show. And I made that joke when we were all watching it. Now, mind you, then fast forward to this episode, I was like, is that the same said Asian dude? Because hear me out, y'all.
Oh, Lord.
That guy said that car had them sticks and spears and stuff in it, looking like a lot of them cars outside of Alexandria. He didn't say a community. He said Alexandria by name, and he knew exactly where it was. And I'm like, now, how would they know anything about Alexandria unless that dude maybe turned from Hilltop community and joined like Negan or something?
See, I think, and you being in the military, you should know that they have probably done, and obviously they found out that they were part of the Saviors, and the Saviors go to each community and get weapons and food. They kind of they do that.
They do that.
Like they probably had recon, and they probably have scoped out the entire area, and they know exactly where Alexandria is. They're just waiting to kind of attack it. And I will say this, the guy, because you kept saying that the guy on the truck was from the hilltop, and I was like, no, that guy is Cal. I think his name is Cal, because there's an agent in the comics, and his name is Cal, and he has an interesting role later on.
Not anymore.
So you kept saying, well, that's not the same guy. You keep saying it's him.
Not anymore. I mean, we can IMDb it later and see if that was Cal or not.
It's not him.
Listen, y'all, I'm just saying that dude looked mighty familiar to the other Asian dude in the hilltop community. So Carol leaves, and then when everybody gets back to, like, okay, I'm just jumping around, but like Morgan decide he gonna go off after Carol, that she was the one who went off in the middle of the night on Morgan's watch.
You know, I'm kind of glad that it was Morgan, because he asked to see the note that Tobin gave to Rick, and I think Morgan understands that her mentality, because he was in that same mindset. So I'm glad that it was him and Rick to go after her.
True, but okay, so when we got Carol back on the road with all them dudes, and she was just like, please go, and all that stuff, and she murked all them dudes. You know what I mean? Carol, goodbye, bye Felicia letter, was pretty much like, I can't kill, like, I love y'all too much, and I can't kill for the people I love, so I have to leave. So, okay, so you're gonna leave so that you don't kill, but you just killed a truckload of dudes.
And you know what, I brought that up in the beginning while we were watching this episode, because I was like, if you think that you can't kill while you're in a group, a safe group like Alexandria with gates and stuff, why do you think that you could go off by yourself and not be in a position where you have to kill people? Like, it's a little naive. I'm sorry, but it is.
It is, and then it's also very interesting because, like, let's skip to a different scene where it's between Rick and Morgan, and they talking about which direction Carol went. Like, Carol headed east instead of west, and west was where the compound was. So why was she heading east?
Yeah, and the title of this episode is called East. I didn't understand that whole conversation. Maybe our YouTube chat people can maybe clarify a little bit, but she's obviously going, I don't know why she would go west toward the compound, because that would just mean that the saviors are there and she doesn't want to go toward them. So east is a logical way to go away from the danger, right?
I would think so, or maybe she knows that they're not west. That compound was west, but they're actually east.
Well, either way, like, her plan backfired because they got her on the road anyway.
Ooh, they got her on that road. And then we see, oh Lord, that situation between Sasha and Abraham on the post.
Yes, I wanted to touch up on that, because when they were doing the flashes of everybody in the community, where in Alexandria, we saw Rosita at the gate, we saw Sasha up on the watchtower, the guard tower, and then when they were switching out and were having this moment, I was like, Rosita's right there, like, she could see you, and lo and behold, she scoped out Sasha, and Sasha scoped out her, and she was like, I see you.
Yeah.
I don't know how she feels about this yet.
Oh, I don't know, because you know what, quite frankly, I've had that situation where, I haven't had that situation, but I've had that situation. I'm not that scandalous. No, I'm good. No, I've had that situation where, oh God, it's just so fine. And you just caught, like, staring, but they're not looking, and then they realize you staring at them, and you just catch eyes like, I wasn't looking at you. No, I've had that where, like, the person that I found to be very interesting caught me catching them, and that was awkward enough. I can't imagine me making googly-eyed with the man who used to be with the girl working beside me.
And live with all of them.
And then
at the same time.
And live with all of them at the same time. But working you couldn't get a different schedule, like work on a different shift.
You know what? I think at this point, because Rosita's got a rebound boy Spencer, I think that at this point she's like, you know what? Do what you need to do. I don't know if that's going to come to a head with her and Sasha at some point.
Yeah, but Rosita held it down, because when they all got together and they decided to go out after Daryl.
Yes, Glenn and Michonne
decided to go after Daryl. Abraham was like, you're not leaving my freckled ass here. And Rosita's just like, nah, you stay here, cover my post. At least I know where he's going. So, you know, I forgot who it was. Somebody made a comment about, like, oh, Rosita is just so pretty and she just follows dudes around. And I'm like, Rosita holds it down.
She does. And I'm glad that they've, like I said, I think 2 episodes ago, that they're expanding more on her character, because, I mean, she's not only just a pretty face. I think that she's got more to offer. Yeah. And this relationship with Daryl and Denise and everything that they went through last episode, you know, I think she was right to go with him. She should have been the one to go after Daryl, which was the truth, because once they get to the tracks and they have like this moment with seeing Denise's blood on the floor and stuff like that, you know, they find Daryl.
Yeah.
And Daryl's like, I can't, like Glenn and Michonne try to convince him to go back.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can't. And then Rosita just jumps on that train. She's like, I can't either. And then they go off.
Yeah, they split.
Yeah, they just want revenge, which I understand. Like they.
But I mean, at this point, you would think that the group knows to like, don't split up. I mean, look at what happened with Maggie and Carol when they were at that compound. You know, Maggie was arguing with Carol about wanting to go in. Carol said no. They got grabbed. They got grabbed up by, oh God, Duck Lips McGee.
Paula.
Paula.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, did we not learn we should not split up like that?
That's true.
And then you look at this group. They split up again, and guess what happened? I'm telling y'all. So we are going to go to a quick commercial break, and we come back. We got more, people. We got way more. So stay tuned. Use the hashtag TWDAS. Stay connected in the conversation. We love y'all.
Love y'all.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Mwah, mwah. Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Oh, you'd want to take the time travel the whole way back.
How did you not figure that out?
We had a crazy vampire threesome.
And you can't unsee that. That's burned into my brain now.
I was like,
How did you get here? No. What do you mean? I'm dancing.
You know why we saying yes. You know why we saying yes.
He was like, yeah, I'll tell you whatever you want.
He is quite something.
and we're like, ooh, inseparable. She was shadier than Sunglass Hut with Ray-Bans on sale, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it wasn't. So come on.
You just went to a totally different direction on that.
When a billionaire goes broke, it means he's got like $4 million.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
I found her to be deliciously out of control.
Oh man, looking forward to this fight.
Ooh, they about to get together. Watch, it's about to go down.
Somebody better take some pictures of this.
She just slapped the crap out of Nick.
And he's just
It's
so good. You can't count anything out.
Could you?
It's been another awesome night at the Stream.tv,
always
guys.
awesome.
Thank you for joining us, you guys.
Yes.
We love you.
Less is better than salmon. Hey y'all, welcome back to the Walking Dead After Show here on the Stream.tv. And dang, we got a lot of Morgan and Rick in this episode.
Oh my God, I love your Rick accent.
I love my Rick is not so good. At least to me. But yeah, I mean, Rick was just like, okay, so Morgan decides he gonna go after Carol. Rick was like, fine. So they, fine. So they go road tripping together. I mean, it was very clear, like, Rick only likes road tripping with Daryl.
Yeah, clearly.
And maybe Jesus if
And
he's hitching a ride.
because he gonna get a little road.
Oh my God, Timothy.
I'm just saying, because they jumped up on that. And I just want to touch up on that really quick with Michonne and Rick and the band and that apple. I was like, maybe they needed some energy because they just had a hard night and they just needed some electrolytes from that apple or something.
Well, you heard her. She said it's Easter Sunday, y'all. She said it. Jesus came through. He heard them. Because he's always watching, and he probably left an apple for them, and then they were eating that. And
But I think
Lord.
you're right. I think Rick just prefers not to be road tripping with Morgan. But here they are.
Here they are, looking for Carol.
Yeah.
And then they have this conversation, like they get out of the car, then they have the conversation with one another, and a lot of stuff comes up on road trips. Like the fact that he was just like, like Morgan asking Rick, like, why is he doing this? And Rick saying, because she's family.
Yes.
And I love that he discerns the difference.
Right. And I love right after that how he said, how Morgan kind of brings up the prison. I love when they bring back other things, like other scenarios or situations that they've been in when they were all separated. Because Morgan wasn't there for the prison. He just knows about it.
Exactly. But that makes me extra hate Morgan, because you bringing up past business you weren't even there for it. You just starting stuff, Morgan, stirring the pot, little prison building pot stirrer.
I don't know, but the only reason he brought up the prison was because he was sitting there going, oh, well, you sent her away after she killed those two people, Karen, Tyrese's girlfriend, and the other guy, because they were sick and she killed them. And then Rick winds up sending her away. And then she wound up coming back and like kind of saving everybody. So that was kind of his like exhibit A in this courtroom of maybe you shouldn't kill people and all this stuff.
But maybe wasn't it like him saying that stuff because it's a courtroom where he's arguing for himself, because then he admits about the wolves, and it's just like, that's why I definitely don't like you, Morgan, because you didn't just bring up her past business in the prison for no daggum reason other than to cover your butt because you admitted the thing about the wolves. And did you see Rick's face?
Yep. Oh, he was pissed. But what I love that Morgan finally told Rick, because nobody did. Carol didn't say anything. Denise didn't say anything. Nobody said anything to Rick. So I'm glad it was Morgan. But I love how he said that he saved the wolf, and then he wound up, like, this was his justification. He wound up coming back and saving Denise's life after the walkers had taken over Alexandria. But that, I mean, you could dispute that in any way, because then you could just say, well, if you had just killed him in the first place, the attack never would have happened, leaving them vulnerable to the walkers to overrun. So his whole case and point of all life is precious is bullshit. I'm sorry, I call bullshit. Because this all could have been avoided. Yeah. If you would have just manned up.
Yeah, but I will say this. He did make the argument about the prison, what she did at the prison, and that she came back and she saved y'all. She saved all of y'all, which is true. And then, and I thought that was really nice that Rick was just like, oh, and by the way, Michonne did steal your protein bar, which, like, Rick, why you gonna snitch on Michonne?
Well, I love how they had that conversation after Morgan convinced Rick to go back to Alexandria, because I think that they are, I mean, they're what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm blanking out right now. They are
trustworthy.
No, they're
friends in low places.
Apprehending an attack, I guess.
Yeah.
Like they keep saying, oh, we should keep the numbers at here. So Rick just wants to get back to Alexandria to protect their home thing, probably because there is this group of saviors out there trying to kill everybody.
Threat,
Right. And I'm surprised. I'm a little surprised. I don't know if you guys are at home, but I was a little surprised that Rick was like, okay, yeah, you go find Carol. I'm glad that he is, because like I said in the beginning, he does have the same mindset as Carol in this battle of how many people do I kill?
Yeah, that namaste life.
Yeah. Yeah. I just don't want him to convert. I just don't want him to like get with her and then convert her and like. Yeah. I need her to find an even balance between herself.
Yeah, we don't need none of that. Morgan
him.
Just needs to stick to himself. Yeah, we don't need him hooking up with anybody. And then we got, oh my God, Maggie needing help from Enid.
Okay.
What is up with Maggie's mom hair, y'all?
Okay, here's the thing. Now, everybody at home, and I know I have to touch up on this. So this is how Maggie originally looks in the comics. She's got this short hair, but she's like that from the beginning. She doesn't just cut her hair at Alexandria. Like, it doesn't happen like that. But the relationship with her and Enid, I kind of want to touch up on, because in the comics, she winds up taking... So Sophia's still alive in the comics. Spoiler alert. Sorry, guys, if you're reading the comics. Turn it off now. But
now it's too late.
Sophia, Carol's daughter, is still alive in the comics. And Glenn and Maggie wind up taking her under their wing like a daughter. And I'm thinking that Enid is kind of filling that Sophia role in this situation. Yeah. And her cutting Maggie's hair to look like the comics is like this crazy foreshadowing of something that might happen to Glenn in the season finale. I'm like my nerves are shot from this. Like, I don't know. I have like all these conspiracy theories in my head.
My nerves was shot when Lauren called, like when you got that mom haircut. I was hoping it was a wig, but Lord, it looks legit. Like it is a legit mom haircut.
Hey, if she went
and you
all
stuck
out
with that.
I'm good for her. I'm glad that she went balls to the wall. It was like, I'm gonna just cut my hair.
No, whoever
I like it.
No, whoever that stylist was on set could have done a better job. You didn't have to straight up 80s mom her. And then on top of that, crack. What was that? I was like, please, as soon as that, I was like, that.
Her stomach pain.
There's nothing inside that should ever make that sound. And all I kept thinking was, we all were wanting to see a Walker baby. And we gonna get a Walker fetus? Like the baby was dead inside her?
I know. I don't want to say it. I don't want this to happen. Like that. Everybody who's been watching the show since I've been on it knows that I'm not a big fan of kids, but that would be OD. I would be like, no.
And there's no Denise. Like, that's the scary part right there is if there is a complication with the baby causing that crack and it is a Walker fetus, like, who you gonna get to get that Walker fetus?
Well, here's the thing. Let's step back for a second. Let's not jump to Walker baby. She is only, like 2 to 3 months along, so...
Do not say that is Kegels, because they don't make that sound.
I think she is having a miscarriage. I do believe that this baby is probably not going to survive. But I don't think that it would be developed enough to start eating its way through her. I don't even think it has like a face yet, or like a mouth or arms and
Never
stuff.
deny the power of a Walker.
Never deny the power of the Walking Dead's writers.
Ooh, you know what I mean? So I know we skipped around a lot, y'all, but we got some questions and shout outs. So the first question comes to us from our friends over at undeadwalking.com. And the question comes from Chipperdoodle on Facebook, who asked, how long ago do you think Carol started the kill list? Which killings pushed her over the edge to start it?
I think that we kind of saw it a little bit when I think it was the last episode or the 2 episodes before that when she was writing in the diary. I can't remember the first few on the page. Were just like initials or something like that.
Yeah.
But she's been keeping track for a long time.
Do you think she was keeping track, or kind of like, I feel like, I'm thinking Carol would keep track for a while, as opposed to how I would be. Like, I would start a list, and then, like, I go, who do I, you know what I mean? Like, I don't remember, so then I walk away from the list, and then oh, that's right, Tommy. And then, like, I don't know, write an initial or something like that.
No,
like,
I probably think she started doing the list after she had the conversation with Morgan. After that whole thing with Denise happened with the wolf, and he, like, slammed her out, which I'm still not over. And they had the conversation of, don't kill, like, I think that's when she probably started, like, flashback, okay, well, who else did I, and then started, like you, like, writing down things that she remembered.
Exactly.
Not when it happened.
Right. Now, I agree with you. That's a great question, Chipperdoodle.
Thanks, Chipperdoodle.
Okay, so we have another question from Ainsley on Facebook. She says, do you think Daryl looking for... Oh, and we didn't even mention that at the end of the episode.
I was going to touch up on that really quick.
Glenn and Michonne get captured by Dwight, right? And then Rosita and Daryl catch up and then try to free them. Glenn's all, that's code for no, son,
It's
no.
code for no. Like, it's clearly a trap.
It's clearly code for no. And then guess what? Dwight gets the drop on him and then shoots Daryl. Now, I know a lot of people are just like, but, you know, like, we were, like, CSIing it. I was like, no, because
we had to rewind it and pause it. We were those people for a second.
It was just like, he's like this, and he turned like this. I think he got shot in the shoulder, y'all. That's just me. But I'm like, here's the thing.
What's his face? Dwight does say at the end, you know, oh, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
So, but still, just that trigger pull and the blood splatter, I was like, whoa, I wasn't ready.
All that blood, it was a through and through. But I mean, for me, I was just thinking to myself, like, come on, Daryl is like one of the best trackers. How is it that Dwight and that group got the...
Thank you. And Rosita's there too.
Mangle dangle Dwight.
Right.
You remember?
Agreed.
Eugene mangled his dangle. How did he get the drop on?
Dangle.
Yes, he did.
I love you. Hashtag that.
Hashtag mangle Dwight's dangle. That's what we're gonna use. So, but how did he get the drop on all of them?
I don't know, but him and Rosita, like they were too smart for that. Especially when Glenn and Michonne are like sitting there tied up, like,
yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, I agree.
You know, okay, so I'm sorry, Ainsley. We just jumped in on your question, girl, but you just reminded me. So then it says, do you think Daryl looking for Dwight is a way for Daryl to redeem himself?
Yes, of course. He probably feels bad because of that whole his relationship with Denise. They were kind of expanding on that and how they were more of a brother and sister feel. And he even says it when Glenn and Michonne tried to convince him to go back to Alexandria. He was like, I can't. Like, we know what that means. Like, he's upset. He wants revenge. He wants to go after Dwight.
I think Denise also is one of the characters that since Beth's death that he kind of got close to.
Yeah, I'm glad you
that
brought
he
her up.
wasn't as, you know what I mean? Almost
Yeah.
like a sibling kind of situation. And she even said that, you remind me of my brother.
Yeah.
And so they kind of had that, ribbing with one another because Carol was very aloof. Like, we didn't see Carol and Daryl a lot except
Yeah.
for these past couple of episodes, but it was always tumultuous. There was always something going on with Carol.
Yeah, and I also think that on Daryl's part, it's a guilt thing as well because he had encountered Dwight and those two girls, and
Yeah.
he helped them. He let them go. So he's kind of like in Morgan's situation where he let them go, and now he regrets it. Whereas Morgan doesn't regret it.
Yeah.
Morgan thinks he's right, but I think Daryl just feels really guilty, and he's like, it's my fault. I think he feels like it's his fault.
Ugh, it is such the season finale is gonna get serious,
Oh,
y'all.
that preview!
But
I know.
we got some shout outs, right?
Yes, we do. Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in every week. We've got Lady J882.
Yeah.
Sydney Cockerham. We were debating a few things on YouTube, so stay in the YouTube chat, guys. We'll debate you. We don't care. DJ DEJ. Thanks for tuning in and give us some of your feedback. And Sonia Kenny had a lot to say about the baby in the last episode, the baby in the sink and stuff like that. And we were kind of debating there too. But thank you guys for watching.
Thank you. And thank you guys in the live chat as well, because like as soon as the episode ended and we jumped in the live chat lobby, woo, you guys were going back and forth in discussions about all the stuff in the episode, and we love that. So we definitely want to hear from you guys. So use the hashtag TWDAS. And also start using the hashtag Mangled Dwight's Dangle.
They already have on the chat.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh, I love y'all. So yeah, stay connected, stay tuned here at thestream.tv, and make sure you check out our friends over at undeadwalking.com. They've got great articles, reviews, insights, and they're also some dear friends of ours. And the season finale, Michael will be back here with us, and we really appreciate you guys hanging in there with this dynamic duo.
Yes.
So we love y'all. See you next week.
See you guys next week. Happy Easter.
Oh, happy Easter! Jesus didn't show up! No!
No.
For more of the Walking Dead after show,
Click that button and
Subscribe to thestream.tv.